Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 11 of the Essential Wrestling Podcast. My name is Karl. I am on location today. For those of you, I know a lot of the guys, the wrestling fans, like to read and hear about rumors. These rumors are true. I did get married this weekend, and I am currently on my honeymoon. So, due to COVID restrictions, my honeymoon is actually on my back patio. But why not? If I have it, might as well use it. Once again, Tyler will not be with us. I do not foresee Tyler going to be with us in the foreseeable future. Unfortunately, he has the important task of getting the Long Island schools ready for September, so they're ready to roll. So for the foreseeable future, we're going to have John Smith and John DeConti with us. You know them, you love them. We're glad that they are here. John DeConti, how are things going today?
Very good, sir. Glad to be along with you once again, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. John Smith, my friend, you were in my wedding party. You were at my wedding on Saturday. How's everything going since then?
Oh, everything's great, and congratulations again.
Yeah, man, I was happy you were to be a part of it. Glad to be a part of it. On today's episode, actually, real quick, I know we've been kind of slacking on this. Episode 11. Do we bring up WrestleMania 11? I think the bright spot was Owen Hart. I mean, that's really the only thing I ever watched on WrestleMania 11.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Actually, funny story. I just thought of this now. Real quick, they yeah, it was WrestleMania 11. I guess when I heard a story that the British Bulldog was always a prankster, and he pranked Vince McMahon by putting like dog food on his desk or something, and Vince accidentally sat in it. And they said how he rebutted the joke was that he made the British Bulldog tag team with Lex Luger. And that's why they were tag partners. That was the rebuttal for the dog food joke. Anyway, on today's episode 11 on the Essential Wrestling Podcast, Orange Cassidy felt the Judas effect at Fyter Fest. The IWGP Heavyweight Championship is now in the camp of the Bullet Club. Wild weekend in New Japan. A couple familiar faces appeared last night on Raw. A huge Intercontinental Championship match set for Friday on SmackDown. We're going to main event our show tonight with our picks for both Slammiversary and the horror show at Extreme Rules. But we're going to curtain jerk with the Great American Bash and Keith Lee ending Adam Cole's 400-day reign as NXT champion. Now, John Smith, you are NXT correspondent. Feel free to take the reins on this one. Your thoughts on the match, your thoughts on Keith Lee. You had a very different approach to this match.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought this was going to be a no contest for the past few weeks, but the second Keith Lee walked out onto that ramp, the only thing I wrote on my notes was Keith Lee has win face. And after that, I knew Keith Lee was winning that belt. And, I mean, I guess the spoiler was true. I don't know if they actually did film multiple endings. Doesn't matter at this point. The match itself was spectacular. I would have liked to have seen Adam Cole kick out of the finisher once and then get dropped by it. But, that's being nitpicky. I give it 4.5 stars. It just needed Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny would have been that half star that we needed. John Connie, you had Adam Cole. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, well, the way I explained it to someone else I was talking wrestling with last week, I laid out all the reasons that John Smith had been talking about for a month and that I 100% agreed, and a couple of things I didn't even think of that he had thrown in. And here's all the reasons why it's gotta be Cole. He's got to hold on to it. We've got to see an angle with Balor. It's going to be Cross who takes it away eventually. And then I said, threw in the caveat, but when you have a beast who moves the way Lee does, you can't be surprised if he winds up being the victor. So,
yeah,
I was upset for my point total, but it was a hell of a match.
Yeah, Tyler and I, we nailed that show. We're going to go over our records in a little bit because I want to talk to you about the results of both shows after this is all said and done. But Karrion Kross was up in the production booth with Scarlett. He was watching. They panned to him at the end. John Smith, you were hitting the nail on the head. He's up next.
Yeah, I mean, he's plotting, you know, Mr. Burns, excellent. It's all coming to fruition, I guess, but, you know, I would have liked to have seen him interfere. I understand why they didn't do it, though. I understand now, looking back at it, that, you know, they needed to wait. I guess I wanted to be right more than anything.
That's usually the case. Yeah, John DeConnie, it just seemed like I just lost my thought. I had something to say and I completely forgot what it was. John DeConnie, keep going.
It's gonna be very interesting to see where they go with Cross from this point on, and what happens to everybody else at the top of that NXT card.
Yeah, actually, here's what I was saying. I was going to reiterate my own point and why I picked Keith Lee. This was, I don't want to say it was a known-brainer out of respect to your thought process, because you both had very good ideas of what possibly could happen. But like when you're going up against Fyter Fest, when you're in this war, the title change is the only logical outcome in my opinion. I mean, I don't think anyone would have complained if Adam Cole would have retained. I think a lot of people would have complained if that ended in a no contest in a war where it should have been up against Moxley and Cage, but it was up against Jericho and Cassidy. I think that would have just made every AEW fan and every AEW mark just being like, "See, we told you so." You know, it would have just gave them so many more bullets. But Keith Lee is now the first ever double champion, and if I remember correctly, I probably should have wrote this down. He's the 17th NXT champion in history. We're already up to 17. Also on that card, let's see where else we're going here. John Smith, Legado de Fantasma. High on them. They took it to Breezango and Drake Maverick.
Yeah, it was a high quality match. It went the way we all figured it would go. The entrance by Breezango, doing that little Cirque du Soleil lucha kind of entrance, was spectacular. I love the way that they're going too. So
it lasted a lot shorter than I thought it was going to.
Oh, you couldn't
minute and 10 seconds.
It was itching my neck anyway. I'm sorry to distract. I apologize.
No, it's fine. I was saying it was a good match. Loved the entrance by Breezango, and I'd like to see what goes on next with Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, John DeConnie, anything you want to add to that? They seem pretty. They seem like they're going to on a very long winning streak for a very long time.
Yeah, played out like we all seem to agree. I very much enjoyed the Fisherman's Buster Ender, and once again,
Phantom Driver, I believe he calls it.
What's that?
The Phantom Driver.
Phantom Driver. There you go.
And Maverick sold that too. He was holding his neck for a while, even after the pinfall. He's very good at selling moves. It almost believes like, oh my god, I think he just actually just destroyed his neck. He's probably top 10. Just off the top of my head. Dakota Kai's another one. You actually think that they're dead when they get hurt by the way they act.
Him being 5'2", 125 pounds kind of helps. Every time he takes a move, I'm almost positive he's dead.
Candice LeRae beat Mia Yim in a pretty intense street fight. I wouldn't say 5 stars, but they were going hard at it. The match ended with a swinging neck breaker off the top rope onto a pile of chairs. That was pretty crazy. That was amazing. John Smith, anything you want to go with that one? That was
they went for it. That was the perfect match to start that show with too. There were so many good spots. They put their bodies on the line. They didn't hold anything back. I have nothing bad to say about it.
Absolutely not. Hunter trusts that women division more than anything, I think, John DeConnie.
Absolutely, yeah. I have in the past, and I will in the future, I will have some negative things to say about women's matches being slow or sloppy or whatever. Nothing bad to say there other than the fact that they made me hold my breath for about 90 straight seconds as they didn't set up the table and were trying to balance on it without the extra support of the legs holding the ropes in place. I saw disaster coming, but they pulled it off, and a heck of a move.
Yeah. What happened to Tony Nese? Like, is something wrong with it? Like, I admit All right, this is gonna be full disclosure. I went 5-0. I got the perfect pay-per-view at every other match right. This match was announced late, so it wasn't on the site. It wasn't involved in our picks. I would have went all in on Tony Nese on this one. Bronson Reed drops a frog splash. That's a frog. It was just a regular splash, right, off the top rope. And what happened to Tony? Did I miss something? Like, what is wrong with Tony Nese lately? John Smith, anything, or I'm on the match in general.
I wouldn't put this on Tony Nese so much as I think they were throwing Bronson Reed a bone for doing a couple jobs for Cross and getting him over. You know, he got squashed the first time and, you know, almost squashed the second time. So
yeah,
if they didn't give him, I mean, it's not like the match made Tony Nese look bad. You know, he's the small guy in the match. You know, he's the cruiserweight, so it's plausible for him to lose to Bronson Reed. Yeah,
and the match started with, again, my favorite enhancement talent now, pretty much of all time, Leon Ruff, I guess. I guess Tony Nese was picking on Leon Ruff, and after their match the week prior, Bronson Reed, I guess they're friends now, which is, like I said, push Leon Ruff to the moon here, John DeConnie.
Sure, why not? Yeah. I think Nese did exactly what they needed of him. Came out, compared their ab development to tick off Bronson Reed, and it went the way you would figure from there, with a guy a third of his size.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll find something to do with Tony Nese again. He's come a long way since winning the Cruiserweight title at WrestleMania. Johnny Gargano and Swerve Scott put on a gem, John Smith.
Yeah, nothing bad to say about that one either. I mean, I feel like they put on a little too many spots, but other than that, I like the way the match went.
Is there such a thing as too many spots? Was that such?
Yeah. Have you ever watched AEW?
Yeah. Hey, there you go. On the comedy, follow it up.
Yeah, a couple of spot monkeys. Good stuff. A lot of good stuff in that match, and luckily it went exactly the way I think most of us had Gargano winning. So
yeah. Yep. And then Mercedes Martinez got the win over Santana Garrett. New look, new attitude, new music. She used to have like that DJ wah 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 wah, like, and I was looking forward to that because I love Martinez. And she came out with a completely different person. I'm assuming she's a heel now. She's beating, people like Santana Garrett, who's probably the most babiest of baby faces out there, next to Casey Catanzaro. But Mercedes Martinez, we're gonna look for see what happens. Adding her to this NXT Women's Division it's gonna be a lot of fun because it's stacked where it is right now, and then you throw her in the mix, and it's gonna be nuts. This week upcoming, going up against, I guess, Fight for the Fallen. This is what they're throwing up. We've got two big matches that NXT has announced. Damian Priest and Cameron Grimes are going to go at it one more time. Grimey's not going to be able to run this one this time, John Smith.
He might still be able to run. He might do something before the match still. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled something off to win this match. It looks like they're higher on him right now than they are on Priest. I'll go with Priest. I think he should win. I think he will win, but I'm not. I wouldn't bet the farm on it.
All right, yeah. I shouldn't say he can't run this time. He's been doing a lot of dirty things the past couple of weeks. Not even the Priest, but the Balor, everybody. It's been a lot of fun. Grimey's been a lot of fun, John Connie.
Absolutely, yeah. He's very creative. I enjoy seeing him probably more than I enjoy seeing Damian Priest. I just have the feeling that if for no other reason than stature and future likelihood of a push, I'm going with Priest there.
Yeah, I'm going to take Damian Priest. This is Grimey got one up on him. I think it's going to be a hell of a match. I think they're going to let Grimey go again like they did with Balor. I think, Priest has been, 3 weeks now, 4 weeks? I guess Priest can say he's 100% now with the back problems he suffered from in your house, and then with the car door first, and then the first match with Grimey. But yeah, I think this has got This has got Damian Priest written all over. And then the match, I've been looking forward to this, boys. I cannot wait for this. Tegan Knox challenging Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. I'm going to leave this up here for a second. I've been waiting for this graphic for a very long time. Tegan getting her championship match. Io Shirai's first title defense, though. This is going to be kind of tall water. John Smith, you can go.
Is this her first defense?
I believe it's her first defense, yes, because Sasha wasn't a title match.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's definitely winning the match. I'll give it like a 15-minute like slugfest, though. I don't think they're gonna have Tegan Knox, just lay down for her. I think there's a reason she's in the match. I think they're seeing if she can be on that next level, like Candice LeRae and Mia Yim. They always need more.
Yeah, and Tegan's proven before that she can go. Now I get the feeling that this might be the main event, and now. Again, with the Wednesday Night Wars, this is probably going to be the match that's going up against Cage and Moxley, John DeConnie.
Absolutely, yeah. This is going to be, I guess this is them pushing all of Tegan's chips to the center and saying, show us even in defeat. Put on a barn burner, give us a reason to get some eyeballs away from the title match, just a couple channels down the aisle there. I'm going to go with Io Shirai just because I see no reason for her to give up that title this quickly, but I got a feeling we're in for a heck of a match.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, but I got Tegan right in the Fatal 4-Way 2 weeks ago at the Bash. I'll take whatever money I want from that. I'm going to throw it right back into the pot. I'll go double. I'm doubling down on Tegan Knox, and you can just take my money back. I'm happy she's in the match. Go Tegan. Hypothetically, if she does win, I don't want to sit here and be like, crap, I was the one that bet against her.
Hey, if it was that house pool, you wouldn't be picking her.
If there's points on the line, they're probably it's exactly right. I wouldn't. Switching gears to the to Fyter Fest that was also on. I don't know who won the ratings war, nor do I care. I think both shows are great. I recently just watched this because actually I had a long week last week with the prep for the wedding and whatnot. But I just again watched Jericho and Orange Cassidy. John DeConnie, we're going to lead with you for AEW here. Your thoughts on your boy Chris Jericho getting the job done?
Of course, Chris Jericho, Le Champion. This was a great match. You had the constant outside interference from Pride and whatever they call themselves, Santana and Ortiz. You had the best friends who Cassidy had sent away in the beginning after their hug walking down the ramp. They came back out for the save. You had Floyd get involved. I mean, it had all the psychology you wanted from a Jericho match. And, there's a reason why Cassidy, as much as it almost infuriates me that he was in a main event, he entertains. And you're going to get entertainment out of Jericho. So it was a great combination.
Yeah, I don't think this match intentionally was supposed to be the main event due to, Mox and Cage.
Right.
Especially with the outcome. I don't know if, if Orange Cassidy was winning, maybe it would have been a different story. Cassidy gets the big send-off and not Moxley. But I don't think this originally was supposed to be the main event. And I like how they stuck to it, though. I like how they stuck with the plan. Obviously, they have Jericho winning for a reason, John Smith.
Yeah, I don't know what that reason is, though. I can't get a pulse on what's going on backstage at AEW like I can with NXT for some reason. I don't know where they're going. I don't know why you don't have Orange Cassidy win this match, by hook or by crook, But the match itself was great. I just, I think it should have ended the other way around.
Yeah, he went for, I guess the Superman punch is now his finisher. I guess that was what they were shooting up all match. He got about halfway up in the air with his fist balled back, and then he took a Judas effect right to the face, and that was the end of it. But he put up a fight. That was a great match. I really enjoyed it. That 8-man tag. That was interesting, John DeConnie. That was they did a lot on that one. A lot that we weren't expecting probably either.
We're talking about the 8-man tag. I'm sorry.
The Bucks.
Sorry. In my head, I was looking at the 6-man tag. No, the 8-man tag. I mean, what more do you want?
A 6-man tag and an 8-man tag and then a regular tag and then.
Sorry about that. Yes, Yeah, well, what more do you want than, that in terms of tag team wrestling? It was all over the place. I think the only thing I wasn't in love with about that was last week when we made our picks, I picked the Lucha Bros and Butcher and the Blade thinking that there'd be some kind of mess up and that would start the tension between FTR and the Bucks. And there was an accidental super kick. But then after the match, we see them kind of shaking hands, giving respect and squashing any possible beef. Well, then what was the point of having them lose? I guess maybe just giving the bump to returning Pentagon and Phoenix, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me the way it came together. But it was a great match.
That handshake was that's kind of shocked me. I thought maybe it was like one of those things where they shake hands and the Bucks try to turn and walk away, and then FDR pulls them back in for Shatter Machine one of them or something.
There you
but
go.
They were switching partners. Like they were doing, one of the FTR, I don't know if it was Harwood or Wheeler, did the Shatter Machine with Nick Jackson, and then they did, I wouldn't say the Melcher driver with Matt Jackson and Harwood, but it was pretty cool to see them. They were working together quite well. It seems like they did their homework on each other's moves. John Smith.
Yeah, they did a good job working together. I definitely agree with that. I also agree with John DeCani here about why would they be shaking hands after the tension started. But I think, like he also said, giving the rub to Pentagon and what's his face? The Lucha Brothers.
They were awesome during that match.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. I was so looking forward to that. I think this was the match of the night, to be honest with you, because I love them so much. It's personal preference, though.
Yeah, the Lucha Boys, I mean, it was more Pentagon than Phoenix. Not that I ever had a problem with Phoenix, but Pentagon was my guy in Lucha Underground. I loved him. And those two shined. Blade and the Butcher didn't do bad either, but it just seemed like one of those two, either Pentagon or Phoenix, were in the ring doing all the work. So that was really great. And we're going to get into those guys again in a few minutes from now because they got a match coming up this Wednesday. John Smith, I'm going to direct this question for you because you mentioned last week that you were pretty much calling out AEW on just Taz pushing his own gimmick on Brian Cage, and I'm like, kind of, maybe you're just talking to him. But then Taz just hands him the FTW championship. Can't get more Taz than that, John.
I mean, what's next? Is he gonna just start going bald and then shave his head? They gonna cut him at the knees so he's the same height? Like, what's going on here?
Like, I misheard that. I mean, I heard it when I watched the show over again. Taking notes on how to improve my podcast hosting skills. And I missed it when you said it live, and then I heard it. I'm like, yeah, he's exactly right. And then he hands him the FTW championship. John DeCani, you're the ECW guy. Any brief history on the FTW championship? Was there any other belt holders other than Taz?
Yes, Sabu.
Sabu was wow.
Yeah, in fact, Taz pulled Sabu on top of him to give him the FTW title so that they could then unite the belts when they finally had their ECW title match. Although that might have been the original orange FTW title that looked like the WWF Winged Eagle, my personal favorite.
Oh, the Winged Eagle? Now, I got a question about that. The Winged Eagle. Is there anything that's such a non-winged eagle? Like, what do you call a non-winged eagle? I never understood that. Anyway, I thought...
It should be called the spread eagle, right?
Yep. That'd be a fun match. Yeah. Val Venus' championship. Anyway. Kenny Omega and Adam Page, they led off the show instead of main eventing. They defeated the Private Party in a pretty decent match. I guess you can't get much more out of those four. Another title retention for Adam Page and Kenny Omega, John DeCani.
Yes, indeed. 20. That one was maybe 24 stars. It didn't blow you out of the water, but you get good stuff.
20s.
Yeah, mid-20s.
And he didn't pour any beer this time. And so it didn't look like there was any leftover animosity over the beer pouring between Page and Omega. I figured if there was anything that would set off Adam Page, it'd be that, John Smith.
Yeah, who's writing this stuff, man? I don't get it. I still always go back to they have such a great tag team division. Why do these two guys still have the belts? They would be working if they had a program together one-on-one. It would be drawing more money. If you had all your tag teams fighting for the belts, it would draw you more money. Why combine the two and kind of make it look like your tag team division's weak and you got to have two singles guys at the top of it?
Yeah, hopefully this maybe, like I said, but September's the next pay-per-view, so hopefully something falls out maybe like mid-August where you have like a 3-week, slow build for All Out or Double or Nothing. Ooh, a raccoon. Look at that. All or Nothing. Raccoon just ran across my backyard. So yeah, you have a nice bill for All Out coming up next, right? In September. That's where my head was at.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so we got a pay-per-view coming up. We got to get through SummerSlam first, but I think to counteract some of the SummerSlam programming, I think you got to start building the tension between Kenny Omega and Adam Page. I think that's a good idea.
Every time they tease it or touch on it, one week it seems like the next week everything's fine. It's like forget what we did last week.
But the people also a thrown together match because they were one short after what happened with Mox. So sure. I kind of feel like this was a house show type-ish. It means something because it's for the titles, but it doesn't really mean anything because it wasn't originally. I'm sure they have a program coming up, I guess. And then what do we have? The Dark Order defeated the SCU. Looks like Cole Cabana is finally starting to believe John DeConnie.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, at one point he referred to Mr. Bro. Yes, Mr. Lee. So it looks like he's ready to take his marching orders, and they keep coaxing him along with they handed him the victory. He got the pinfall. I mean, what more do you want?
Yeah, then I guess Christopher Daniels asked him why he's doing this, and Cole Cabana was like, "Yes, because I have to," or something like that, right?
Yeah, maybe they got some sort of blackmail on him. Maybe that's what was in the envelope too, along with the contract.
Oh, really?
Maybe. Who knows? I think this is just going to be one of those slow burn kind of angles. Cole Cabana is going to be with them, for a year, maybe before tensions rise and he finally breaks himself off from the Dark Order again. I like where they're going, though. It makes me care about Colt Cabana because, I only heard his name because of the pipe bomb 10 years ago. I never seen him wrestle because, unfortunately, I've mostly stuck to WWE. But, it makes me care about him because I didn't care at all about him beforehand. So I like it.
And then in the last match, Joey Janela pipe bomb.
That you remember now?
Yeah. They Joey Janela, he toughed it out against Lance Archer, and I believe it was the blackout he called it from the apron onto a table. And that's how you finish Joey Janela, Don DeConnie. That was a great finish.
Yeah, the only thing inconvenient about that is Archer had to go out there, get him, and roll him back in for the 1, 2, 3. Could have had Jake do it.
Anywhere. John Smith, anyone add? You actually gave that squash. Real surprised that it went as long as it did.
Yes, I was going to say, it's still like, even though Archer destroyed him, I still don't think it made him look that good because they went 12, 15 minutes. This is not a match Lance Archer should have let go that long, in my opinion. So, I mean, I like the spots. I like, the way the match went. It was a good match. I just don't think it served his character very well.
All right. Okay, so coming up, we actually have Fight for the Fallen coming up this Wednesday night. And for those of you who do not know, Fight for the Fallen is actually a charity event. It's a charity show to help benefit the people in the Jacksonville community. They did do this last year, and there was like a free pay-per-view thing. It was before Dynamite was on TV. So they're doing it again. They're throwing it right after Fyter Fest, getting right into it. John DeConnie, another 6-man tag for you, John DeConnie. The Elite back together. Kenny Omega is going to be teaming with the Young Bucks to go against Jurassic Express. John DeConnie, we'll let you lead since you were Mr. Fyter Fest last week, nailing a 6-0 mark on the show here.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I think that one is that's one of those. I guess the way AEW started with those shows before they even were AEW. This is exactly the kind of thing. This is a no animosity, feel good. We're just going to go out there and perform. This, I'm sure, will be a spot fest, and I guess I'm going to go with the Elite for absolutely no reason other than they're the Elite.
Yeah, you kind of thinking that as well. John Smith, you have Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks on one team.
Ooh,
it's going to be a starry night out tomorrow night. It's going to be a starry night out tomorrow night.
Yeah. I'll give them the victory also. I don't see how they lose. They are the Elite, and they do have Mr. 5-Star, so that's all I could say about that.
Yeah, I would like to see Jurassic Express get some kind of win here. Maybe FTR comes out and I don't know. It's the only way I can see the Jurassic Express winning this is with some help, unintentional help from FTR. Yeah, this has got barn burner. This has got a great match written all over it. Speaking of FTR, and speaking of great matches, and speaking of holy excitement, there they are, the Lucha Bros, my boys, Pentagon and Phoenix, going against FTR. I know it was a little too early. Actually, it's not too early. We're halfway through the year already. Match of the year candidate for AEW right here in my eyes. John DeConnie, who do you got?
Yeah, at the very least, match of the night. I mean, if this one doesn't deliver, I don't know where you go from there. But yeah, that's got old school, everything you want, tag team wrestling mixed with a little bit of lucha craziness. This is going to deliver. I would bet the house on it.
Yeah, this 100% agreed. John Smith, any thoughts? Your pick.
Absolutely agree with that. Also, I just had a thought though. Maybe there's some sort of deviousness going on by the Lucha Brothers, and the Young Bucks come out and help them first and cost the FTR the match.
Ooh, I heard a little bit.
Yeah, 10 push-ups, 5 push-ups.
I'll give you 5 on that one. I heard a little bit. Yeah.
So maybe something like that could happen where the Young Bucks inadvertently cost them the match earlier in the night, and then they come back and act like they're going to help, but then retaliate. That could happen, especially in a match.
Yeah, well, there could be a lot going on between FTR and the Bucks. Heading, we got about a month and a half, maybe a little less than 2 months before All Out. I believe it's September 9th. So, there's a lot that could happen there. I'm going with the Lucha Bros. I know they just got the win. I feel like back-to-back wins might be a little tough over FTR, but I don't want to bet against Phoenix and Pentagon again. The TNT Championship, again, weekly basis. Cody's putting it on the line against the Concrete Rose, Sonny Kiss. John DeConnie.
Well, once again, I think Cody's enjoying, this run too much for there to be a title change here. But I think after what little I saw of Sonny Kiss, having never seen before, I think this should be a heck of a match. It gives Cody he's working with someone that anything he wants to try, I would say Kiss could probably pull off. So I think we see ourselves a very entertaining match here, but I'm gonna go with Cody retaining.
John Smith.
Cody wins.
Boy. What's that?
Cody wins.
Yeah, okay. We'll just leave it at that. We don't need to talk that up. I know you want to talk about it. But yeah, I think Sonny's going to put on a great match.
You know how I feel about Cody. There's nothing positive is going to come out of my mouth.
I'm getting bit right now. Cody, I'm going to go to Cody retain as well. I'm looking for a great match. I want to see a good showing out of Sonny Kiss. I don't know if controversial is the word here, but he's different and people know it, and I think he's going to shed a positive light on everything that who he is and what he stands for. So I think this is going to be nothing but positive coming out of this match, and a great performance. I'm 15. TNT title can only go 20 minutes, right? So I think we're definitely going to go over 15 minutes here. Not that Cody ever goes under 15 minutes. And then the main event, this is the one that we've been waiting for. We were supposed to get it last week. Mox wanted to take precautions because his wife was infected with the COVID, and rightly so they pushed it to Fight for the Fallen. But Brian Cage, the FTW World Champion, will look to be Becky Two Belts as he goes for the AEW Championship against Jon Moxley. John DeConnie, who do you got?
Oh, I'm so conflicted about this. I want to say that they'll that Mox holds on, and maybe they do it again before kicking out, because I think Cage will be the champion at some point. I don't know that it's going to happen the first time, but I guess if I've got to put points on the line and make the pick, I guess I'll go with Cage to get it done here.
Really? That's huge. I was looking at a new champion, John Smith. Yeah, you got to think, John, real quick before you say, you got to think that, like I said, they didn't change Jericho and Cassidy around, even though the match got moved up to the main event. I think this match is going to play out the same way as if it were the main event last week, going up against Cole and Keith Lee. John Smith?
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting points. I still like, oh my God. Oh, another 5 push-ups right there. I almost called him Ambrose. Jeez. I don't see Moxley losing it yet. I don't see the reason why they would put the FTW championship on Cage if they're just going to throw the other belt on him the next week. Yeah,
why dust it off just to fill a segment? I don't get that one. But too soon, too early for Brian Cage. I think Mox still has a lot left in the tank to be the face of this company. I really don't see any benefit of taking the belt off of Jon Moxley here. Real quick, guys, I'm just going to talk amongst myself for a little bit, because we had a wild weekend in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The New Japan Cup Tournament Final, it was Evil representing LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón, which that stands for. I have a tough time saying that middle name, the middle initial, Ingobernables. I'll just call him LIJ. He was facing off against Kazuchika Okada, the golden boy of New Japan. During the match, now it was a fun little twist, because Gato, who used to manage Okada, came down, who's now a member of the Bullet Club, came down to try to help Evil, but everyone's thinking like, well, he just hates Okada. Jay White had the feud with Okada for the world title for a while when Jay White was champion, and it was, you didn't think anything of it. And then it ended up being, I think, let's see, 2 low blows. Again, Red Shoes had a tough weekend. The NWJP referee, Red Shoes, if you know him, you understand that he's the greatest, most hardest working referee in the business. He got bumped. He went down. 2 low blows by Evil, including a spread eagle foot stomp to the nuts. Stands him up. He's doing a step over clothesline for his finisher, and that's what put away Okada. So Evil wins the New Japan Cup. Everyone's happy. Naito comes out, who's his friend, who's the leader of Los Ingobernables de Japón. I'm gonna keep trying to say that until I botch it. Naito comes out because now Evil's got to challenge Naito for both the heavyweight title and the Intercontinental title the next night at Dominion. So Naito says, I think he says, congratulations, we're friends, best of luck, and the best man wins. Then he puts his hand up for, the fist up for the LIJ. Evil throws his fist up, and then at the right moment he goes boop, and then gives it the kiss. Step over clothesline. Bullet Club comes out. Evil with the huge swerve joins the Bullet Club. So, place is in awe. Actually, there was, and I can say that because there was a crowd at this event. It was, I don't know if it was 30% capacity or not. They were sitting in every other seat. Every other seat was open in the crowd. And with the New Japan crowd, they are very calm. They're very respectful. They sit there, clap. So they were very tame. For the both nights of the New Japan Cup and for Dominion. And then at Dominion in the heavyweight championship match, I was a little bit heartbroken because I remember when Kenny P was on talking to him. One of my favorite things about Evil was his entrance, the music, the look, the huge scythe, I believe Kenny P said it was. I thought it was a sickle. It's a scythe. It's all gone. He's got new music. He's got his hair down. He is a new Evil, new outfits, new music. He's an evil. He is now officially, I guess, the heel. I don't know if he's the leader of the Bull Club or not, because I know Jay White is, and Jay White's still quarantined, I guess, somewhere. Bull Club's missing a lot of members between the Gorillas of Destiny, Jay White, and Bad Luck Fale. Haven't seen those guys in a long time. But Evil goes out, and then Evil gets the job done. Evil, again, a foot stop to the groin, followed by a step over clothesline. Again, Red Shoes was down. Rough weekend for Red Shoes. And Evil is your new heavyweight and intercontinental champion as a member of the Bullet Club. So it was a very wild weekend. Roller coaster of emotions for me because I love the LIJ. I'm upset that Evil's out. They actually jumped, the Bullet Club jumped Naito after the match. Hiromu Takahashi, the junior heavyweight champion, came out for LIJ to help Naito. He cleared the ring. He challenged Evil. Apparently, I guess it was somebody translated the press conference afterwards. Evil accepted his challenge, so Evil and Takahashi are going to go at it. Takahashi's going to try to go for 3 belts now. He has 1, and he's gunning for 2. So that was pretty wild. And the other 2 big matches, Takagi Shingo from the LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón. He defended his never open weight championship against Sho from Roppongi 3K. That was a rematch from the first round of the New Japan Cup where Sho actually upset Shingo to advance in the tournament. So that was a nice little, he earned a title match because of that upset win. He didn't get the job done. And then, as I predicted, Tai Chi and Zack Sabre Jr., they defeated Kota Ibushi and Hiroshi Tanahashi to become the new NWJP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. So those are the big 3 matches from Dominion. I went 3-0. Come to me with all your New Japan stuff.
If you're going to be our guy.
Yeah, I guess until I find somebody else to talk New Japan with, I guess I have to sit here and have these quick little 10-minute spots whenever New Japan is on TV. I don't know when the next New Japan event is. It's not like wrestling here stateside where they have weekly shows. So I guess I got to start paying attention to when the next event is. I don't really watch too many of the promos over in New Japan. Only because I can't understand them. Switching gears. Okay, back to stateside wrestling and WWE. Last night on Raw, where do we begin here? Because there was a lot going on. We saw some familiar faces. Let's start with the first one that we saw. Bianca Belair is back, John DeConnie. You want to go through that so I can get a drink of soda here and kind of recharge for a minute or 2?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we start out backstage with Ruby Riott bumping into Billy and Peyton, and they talk a little trash back and forth. They're getting ready for a match. They think it's going to be a handicap match because, after all, Ruby Riott's got no friends. Along comes the EST.
John Smith, I was happy to see Bianca Belair. The last thing I heard she was doing was actually making the Street Profits uniforms for the Anything You Can Do, We Can Do Better contest with the Viking Raiders. She was the seamstress for all those outfits the Street Profits were wearing.
Yeah, she came out of nowhere. I guess they're utilizing her in the ring now. I like it. It's it's not the same old crap, And
yeah,
I like her. I like her attitude. I think she really knows who she is as far as who her character is, and I think she's within a year she'll be the champ, in my opinion.
We'll write that down. We'll sort of go back to you after my wedding reception next year. We'll see if that comes true or not. So we got her back. She got the win. I believe she pinned Billie Kay in the match. It was Bianca and Ruby against the Iconics. Ruby's got a little bit of help. I would have bet money and lost money that it would have been Liv Morgan that was the one to help her. I think we were all expecting that, and Bianca kind of just came out of nowhere. And then Interrupting the beginning of the 24/7 championship match between R-Truth and Akira Tozawa, we got Shayna Baszler back, John Smith. I know you are a big fan of her.
But the first note I had on my NXT thing is bring Shayna back if you're not going to use her. But then this happened yesterday, so I didn't say anything about it. You know, she needs to be the champ next. I mean, not at the expense of Asuka, but I think that like in the line of how things happen, she needs to get hers because she is so different and she is so intimidating compared to everybody else in that division.
I completely agree, and you know what? That was her message. She's coming, and I like the timing of it. It's the week before the pay-per-view, so when the dust settles on Asuka and Sasha Banks on Sunday, Shayna's going to go right to work on Monday, John DeConnie. And you know what? I don't think anybody's going to complain. If it so happens and Asuka retains, I don't think anyone's going to complain with an Asuka and Shayna Baszler road to SummerSlam ending at SummerSlam.
Oh, no, absolutely not. That will be something to see. Yeah, Shayna is so good. I don't think I would have guessed it a couple of years ago when I heard that she had originally signed, coming out of the MMA world and whatnot. But clearly she's been a fan for a long time. She's taken to it, and she had obviously a great run in NXT, and she just is, she is to be feared. And that will be a great road to SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think the feud with Becky Lynch came to a halt, and that's not Shayna's fault. And, all the internet, Vince is giving up on Shayna Baszler. Okay, so they needed to they had to go back to the drawing board with her and then put her in appropriately because her feud got halted by a pregnancy. You can't plan for that. Or maybe you can plan for that, and I don't know, how much Vince is in tune with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins' pregnancy schedule. I don't know, but I think Shayna was the one that she got hit hardest with that.
That's a good.
So it was great to see her back on TV. That's the shot in there between those two, between Bianca and Shayna. That's the shot in the arm the Raw Women's Division needs. So now you got those two, you got Asuka, and then you got Ruby, and you got the iconic. It's a nice little group right there. Nice some feuds, from top to bottom, high level, low level. It's working out pretty good. Next, I made a kind of a half joke. Earlier episodes of the Essential Wrestling Podcast, that I said once a month. I don't care what what Monday of the month it is, but once a month we should get Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. And last night was July's Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy match. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, they were in a tag team match together. I counted that, but I get once a month. Give me these two, John DeConnie.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is a rivalry that I don't get tired of watching. The two of them work great together in the ring, and it's a shame that it ended in a DQ, but it was part of a larger storyline and a larger mess of a 3-segment or 2 commercial 3-segment story to be told. So.
Yeah, Rollins had the promo in the beginning, and then that match, and then Rollins and Owens had the match after that. John DeConnie, John Smith, I'm sorry, you want to sum up that whole, Raw's been doing this a lot lately, a lot of crossover promos, a lot of one leading into the other. Like I said, R-Truth was in 2 segments. Randy Orton was all over the place.
Yeah, as far as Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black is concerned, that's going to be one of those feuds that I think should be, an Intercontinental feud next, and then a world title feud in 3 years, and that'll always come back to these two. I think that'll be a great story, long-term storyline for the two of them. I want to see Buddy Murphy get away from Seth Rollins because that gimmick is just not working for him, being a lackey for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I do not want to compare these two to Rock and Triple H just yet, but this is one of those things where they just keep on just circling back to each other all the way through their careers. Every Royal Rumble, they have a spot, how many years, I believe Michaels and Jannetty had a string of years where they would always get into the ring and fight each other in the Rumble. I believe Santana and Martel had that. Early days. They were always in, at the same time and, just throwing fists. This, the tag team broke up, 5 years prior. They're Santana and Martel again, Get him, Tito, get him. Screw you. Nice little match between Andrade and Angel Garza. They picked up the win against the Viking Raiders in an elimination match, John Smith.
Yeah, very unique. I haven't seen a random elimination match in a long time between two tag teams. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. It's always nice to see something new or different. But I was surprised that they gave the clean win to, or not so much clean, but clean enough to Angel Garza.
Yeah, he seems like he's becoming the star out of the two. As much as I love Andrade, but Angel Garza, that's the man, John DeConnie.
Absolutely, yeah. And eventually they keep bickering with one another. Although at the end of that match, they did walk up the ramp together, even though they had the bickering in the middle of the three falls. They walked up the ramp together like everything's fine. But I think we all know that that's eventually going to lead to the two of them turning on each other and actually having a series of matches. And I said a couple of weeks ago, obviously there's no plans for it right now because there's a totally different storyline going on, but that would be a great United States title feud. They could fight half dozen times as far as I'm concerned. I think that will be a heck of a feud. You get the little extra
I really would like them to win. Oh, I'm sorry, John. Keep going.
I would
really like to see them win the Raw Tag Team titles. I believe I just stepped on it twice in a row. I would love to see them win the Raw Tag titles first, and I want to see a series of matches between them against Ricochet and Cedric Alexander before they split up. And that's my only thing. I think why I'm complaining so much that they're fighting and they're going to break them up. I mean, the Raw Tag division is subpar, to put it nicely, and when you got two teams like that can just put on, with the Viking Raiders and even you can throw the Street Profits, they got those four. Let them go at it a couple times. So they did announce one match for next week's Raw. They're not putting Big Show and Randy Orton on Extreme Rules. They're going to save it for next Monday night. It's going to be a non-sanctioned match, but would have fit in perfectly for the horror show aspect of the Extreme Rules. But I think this might be a situation like with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. Maybe there's just not enough time to give this match the proper time it deserves. But then again, it's Randy Orton and the Big Show. How much time do they need, John Smith?
How much time can Big Show actually do? That's the real question.
Exactly. That's where...
unless it's pre-recorded, that's completely possible. They could show us some sort of, not like the Undertaker match at WrestleMania, but something in between where you see where Big Show can go 40 minutes, but he actually didn't go 40 minutes because he did it over the course of 3 days.
Yeah. I'm out. Yeah, he's out. Yeah. John DeConnie, any thoughts? Your pick? John Smith? Who do you got in that match? By the way, who do you got?
It's got to be Randy Orton. It's got to be.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. John DeConnie.
Yeah, you got to go with Orton. I think as we've discussed previously, bringing in Christian, now bringing back the Big Show when he was busy making a sitcom. This is all just trying to stretch out and cover the negative space that was left by Edge's injury. So I figure you got to go with Orton. And then they dig up next.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if Edge and Randy Orton, their match would have been at Extreme Rules, whatever finale they would have had, or maybe if they would have just pushed it back to SummerSlam if Edge wasn't injured. But yeah, we're getting that next Monday night. Turning to SmackDown, we got a brief couple of SmackDown things to talk about that are not Extreme Rules related. Jeff Hardy and The Miz had a very nice match to kick off the show. It started with Miz TV. Miz and Morrison were kind of poking fun at Jeff Hardy, just as all heels do. And John DeConnie, what'd you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed Jeff Obviously, it was scripted, so it's not like he suddenly found his testes, but flat out turning to those two and saying like, "You think you can talk to me like that and play those clips and not get punched in the mouth?" And then proceeding to punch him in the mouth. I enjoy that kind of thing.
Yeah, the southern accent helps too. John Smith.
Hey, I'll be honest. At the time that I watched this, I wasn't planning on reviewing it, so I fast forwarded it because I am so done with this Jeff Hardy angle already. Like, we get it. He used to be a drunk. He's not a drunk anymore. Let's have him actually do some stuff, or you're just going to beat the fact that he was a drunk into our heads so much. That's going to be the only thing we ever think about him.
Yeah, and I guess they did tease something. I don't know if it's going to happen at Extreme Rules or not. I guess we'll find out on Friday. I guess, what is it, a beer room brawl? Didn't the APA used to have matches like this? I don't know. Sheamus proposed something with a beer room, bar room, something type of brawl. They had a karaoke contest on SmackDown. And then also they announced next week that the Intercontinental Championship will be on the line. Matt Riddle will be challenging AJ Styles. Riddle's getting a push early here. You see anything happen, John DeConnie? Do you see Matt Riddle pulling this one off so early on his SmackDown run?
Bro. Yeah, I think I'm going to guess that you've already had Riddle get a clean victory over Styles in a non-title match. And unless they're ramping up Styles to switch and go, to the big belt, I'm assuming that maybe you get Corbin interfering and then we don't get a clean finish on this. Maybe it sets up a three-way Intercontinental title somewhere down the line shot. So I'm going to go with AJ retaining, but I don't know if there'll actually be a finish.
I forgot about Baron Corbin. I like that. I think either Baron Corbin, an interference causes either a DQ or a Styles win. That wouldn't be a stallion move on Baron Corbin's part, John Smith.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you both just said. I know you glossed over the karaoke thing, but that was way too much of a throwback to the Divas division. That's all I want to say. We don't have to discuss it any further, but, why did they even need to do that? But as far as the Intercontinental match is concerned, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be better than the first one, and it's not going to end cleanly, and AJ is going to keep his belt. And I think AJ keeps the belt for a substantial amount of time because it's going to be the only time he ever has it, I think. Unless they keep him in that role throughout the years, but I don't think that's what his goal would be. I think he wants to be back in the main event after he's done with his Intercontinental belt, but I think it'll be a nice long run before it.
Yeah, I think so too. It's the long line, because Strowman and Wyatt, which we'll get into probably next. No, not next, but we're going to get to in the later in the show. That's going to keep going probably, I'm seeing. And then, Roman's going to be coming back soon. And, he's probably I don't know, do you throw him right back into the world title mix because his chance at WrestleMania was taken away from him, or it wasn't taken away from him. He, kind of left it there. So who knows? But, yeah, I like to see a nice little a long run out of AJ Styles.
Unless Brock is coming back.
So that's going to wrap it up for SmackDown. We're going to turn to the big weekend that we have ahead of us. 2 pay-per-views, Saturday night and Sunday night. And these, we're going to come up with our picks for each of the matches that are coming up on these shows. And they're sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends, play against the universe. And if you would like to create a pool with your friends to pick pay-per-view matches and see who's the best, you feel free to do that. Or you can play against myself, John DeConnie, John Smith, as well as Tyler in the Essential Wrestling Podcast pool. Anybody can join. Here are the standings that we have so far going into this. Tyler and I had a very, very nice Wednesday night as far as the Great American Bash was concerned. We went 5-0. Got the huge 8-point bonus. John DeConti went perfecto with night 2 of Fighter Fest, going 6-0, earning a perfect pay-per-view bonus. John Smith went 8-3, couldn't string a whole show together to get the bonus, but if you look at these records real quick, we have 9-2, 8-3, 10-1, 8-3. Was Wednesday's show a little predictable here? The Fighter Fest and the Great American Bash before we move forward. A little bit predictable.
I think it's always a little bit predictable.
Well, if you look at our records from night 1 to night 2, I went 7-3 in night 1. The rest of you 3 went 5-5. So we were. I don't know if we were just off or they were just a little bit tougher, or I don't know. But it just seemed like this past Wednesday nights, it just seems like like Johnny Gargano. You're not going to pick against Johnny Gargano when he's fighting Isaiah Swerve Scott. No offense to Swerve, but.
Whether our records show like the right person was picked, I think most of the time we do know where the angle is going. It's just happen from a DQ loss or a victory. Sometimes like the title isn't going to change hands, but who actually wins the match? Is it going to be a DQ win by the challenger so he doesn't get the belt? Something like that.
So we're going to start off first off with Saturday night's Slammiversary event. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, there we got Slammiversary right there. Slammiversary this Saturday night, I believe it starts at 8 o'clock. It impacts yearly event celebrating the anniversary of its inception. I believe it was 2002 when we all first was introduced to Total Nonstop Action as a part of the National Wrestling Alliance. And these are our records for Impact. There hasn't been any pay-per-views yet this season, so we're all starting off fresh for Impact. The first match we got going here, we're going to start off with one of my favorite titles in wrestling, the Impact X Division Championship. Willie Mack, the champion, will defend against Chris Bay. And the all-important thing, as John DeConti, we talked about last week, our good friend, our lovable Johnny Swinger, is banned from ringside.
Yes, indeed. However, is Swingicide banned from ringside? Because last week we saw Johnny Swinger backstage first stumble upon the Super Eric costume and kind of toss that aside. Yep. But eventually walk into the locker room and find an unattended bag that belongs to whoever's under the mask for Suicide these days. So he picked it up, he put it on, he stumbled into an X Division title match, and boy, did he put on a show.
He put on a show. Who do you got in the match, John DeConti?
I'm going to go with Willie Mack retaining, perhaps due to unintentional botch by Swingicide, or however Johnny Swinger winds up at ringside, even though he's not supposed to be there.
John Smith, I know you mentioned you're going to try to jump on the Impact bandwagon. We would love to have you to be a part of these conversations. I believe you did watch Impact this last week, correct? Can you make a pick on this?
I actually watched last week's episode today in preparation for this because I wanted to take part in it. So everybody, don't take what I say as what's going to happen, because this is all based on literally one episode. But I see, like, just the way it seemed that they had it going, I see Mac winning this title also, or this title match also.
Yeah, Willie Mack, also another Lucha Underground alumni. Love Willie Mack. John DeConti, I think he hit the nail on the head. Swinger's going to try to help, and he's going to cost Chris Bay. I said it last week. Probably the best thing that could have happened to Chris Bay was that Johnny Swinger was banned from ringside. And Swinger just seems like he's going to be relentless. We'll find out tonight as well, too. We'll see what he's got in store tonight. It seems like he's going to make it a point to be at ringside in some way, shape, or form to try to help Chris Bay. And then it's going to completely backfire, and it's going to cost Bay the championship, which is unfortunate.
Because the man's always got a plan.
The North, who just came up on their 1-year anniversary of winning the Impact Tag Team Championships. They've been champs for a year now. They're going to be going against the formal rivals now, I guess. I don't know how you want to call it. The friend of my friend is my enemy. I don't know. Sami Callihan and Kent Shamrock, who were literally killing each other maybe about a month and a half ago, and now they're going to, join forces to try to win the tag titles. John DeConnie.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with the North retaining because I think that, with the influx of talent that should be headed Impact's way, I think it's a better story if they drop it to a real team. And it's just too easy to have Callihan and Shamrock at some point get sick and tired of looking at each other on the ring apron there and turn on each other in this match or some version thereof.
John Smith, were you happy to see Ken Shamrock back in your TV today when you were watching it back?
That was wild. Oh my God, is he aged? Not physically, but facially, he's aged.
Yeah.
But, I enjoyed that match that I saw between Callihan and the one guy from the North on Impact. But I'm going to go with the challengers on this one. I'm going with Callihan and Ken Shamrock. From what I hear, they had, like you said, they had a big angle beforehand, so maybe they're rewarding them for a good job. I don't know.
Okay.
It is what one of their two big pay-per-views. Maybe they're just, they're thinking maybe some people are watching because Ken Shamrock has a title match. Maybe they'll have to do a title change just for that reason.
Okay, I'm going to go with the North as well. As we've mentioned, Scott D'Amore was on the phone with some Good Brothers recently. You kind of thinking that Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson, his name is Doc Gallows right now. He's at a WWE. It's not Luke anymore. It's Doc, right? Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson will be making their way, and in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. I think the only shot that Callihan and Shamrock have to win this, not the only shot, they can just flat out beat them. But, if the Good Brothers interfere, cost the North the title, that's always that chance too. But I would like to see the North against Anderson and Gallows for the tag titles at some point soon. So I'm going to go with the North. The true North, strong and free, right?
What field does Gallows has a doctorate in?
Is it the Hurt Business? Is MVP giving out degrees in the Hurt Business?
Maybe it's thugonomics.
Thugonomics. You wouldn't be the first doctor of thugonomics, right? We also have, ready for this one, right? We have an 11-woman #1 contenders knockouts gauntlet match featuring Rosemary, Nevaeh, Madison Rayne, Susie, Kiera Hogan, Taya Valkyrie, Jersey Girl Tasha Steelz, Alicia Edwards, Kylie Ray, Kimberly, and Havoc. I know the order of entry is going to be huge for this, with 11 women in it. You don't want draw numbers 1 through 5. People who've drawn number 1 through 5 have never been there at the end. Remnants of the 92 Rumble right there. John DeConnie, you got a 1 in 11 shot here, or maybe I guess some women had better odds than others. I don't think Alicia Edwards has a shot.
Yeah. I almost want to go with Madison Rayne, but I think that's because I can't understand why she threw herself in there at the last minute like this, if not for it to be for her to come out of it. But I'm going to go with Rosemary by virtue of the fact that they highlighted her last week on Impact in 60 and one of her other during the throwback match, I believe, last week as well. I think they're reminding us of her title reign for a reason, and somewhere down the line, her and Su Yung / Susie are going to get into it as well. Why wouldn't it be for the title somewhere down the line?
Yeah, obviously I know who Rosemary is. Very happy to see that's still the Marilyn Manson theme she comes out to, right? For Decay.
Yeah. Believe so.
That's still. I was very happy to see that because I haven't seen her since I started watching. I haven't seen her in the ring. She's been doing the whole thing with Bravo and Taya. Happy to hear that music hit. John Smith. Just throw. Actually, well, tonight there's going to be 10 of the 11, all of them minus Madison Rain. They're going to be divided up into two 5-man teams, 5 knockouts teams, in a 10-woman tag or 10 knockout. Keep on calling them women when they're called knockouts. 10 knockout tag. Don't want to be disrespectful to knockouts. They're going to have a match tonight just to check them out. John Smith, I guess throw a dart to the board here.
Susie.
Okay.
They told me a little about her backstory during her match, so it seemed like she used to be a champ. She used to be the champ for a long time.
She was the undead bride. She's like a zombie bride, and this is now her alter ego. Now, I missed how she turned into this Susie character, but she was unstoppable at one point in time.
Okay, but wasn't Rosemary also undead?
No, I think she's just goth, I guess. I don't know. That whole decay thing with Crazy Steve and Abyss.
Oh, okay.
And
yes.
Father Jim, James, whatever. Yeah, there was this whole thing where they went to the undead world to bring somebody back. And like I said, this was, 6-8 months ago when I was watching the entire 2 hours on Fast Forward, so I didn't get a lot of the nuance. But yeah, they have that tie there, Susie and Rosemary.
Oh yeah, I missed that feud. I remember when, Su Yung first debuted. I think she was going after Laurel Van Ness at the time too. It was now Chelsea Green. I believe that was the Undead Bride going after the Jilted Bride. I think that was the feud because that was when Laurel Van Ness got left at the altar by somebody. Gunner? Not Gunner. I forget who it was. Anyway, but yeah, fun fact, John Smith, Susie is actually Rich Swan's wife. And Rich Swann is an Impact. He's just injured right now. And another fun little fact, actually, my wife, I can call her my wife now, it is official. She told me a little fun fact that I just did not even put 2 and 2 together. Nevia is actually heaven spelled backwards.
Yeah.
Is actually what?
Heaven spelled backwards.
There you go.
I learn something new every day. You learn something new every Impact, and that was my one thing last week that I learned during Impact, that Nevia is heaven spelled backwards. I would love to go with the Jersey girl, Tasha Steelz. I just can't do it. I'm going to go Kylie Ray on this one. I know she's newer, but I think she's really, really good. I don't think AEW should have let her go for whatever reason they did, but I think she could shine, and I think that she should shine early. So give me Kylie Ray in this one.
She is working the hell out of that Bayley 2.0 persona.
It is Bayley 2.0. It is. Smiley Kylie, right? It was smile to the finish, the STF, smile to finish.
Smile to the finish, yep.
Smile to the finish is her finisher. And then the number one contender, the winner of that will be the number one contender and will most likely challenge the winner of this match, the Impact Women's Champion, Jordynne Grace. I spy a Jersey girl here, boys. I think I know where I'm going on this one. I'll let John DeConnie. I think I know where you're going on this one too.
You absolutely do. I'm not betting against my girl Jordynne Grace. Just enjoy watching her work way too much.
All right, John Smith. I know you know Deonna. At least somewhat familiar with Deonna Purrazzo. She didn't have too big of a stint in NXT.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like she would win this match. Just from my years of watching wrestling, she just came in a month ago, 2 months ago, right?
Yeah, a month ago. Yep.
Month ago, yeah. Just it seems like maybe she loses this one and then wins the next one if they fight again, or maybe she just goes her own way after this. But yeah, I got Jordynne Grace.
All right, I got to go Deonna on this one. This is the one Jersey girl I'm going to go with. It's tough having 2 Jersey girls in one division here. But yeah, I know it's too early, too soon, too quick. She just got there, but that just seems like a very, very Impact move to do. It's just have somebody show up and just give them the championship, and we will talk about that in the main event. But we got one more match before we get to that. The non-recognized TNA Heavyweight Championship will be on the line as the unrecognized TNA Champion Moose will defend against the hardcorest of hardcore, Tommy Dreamer. John DeConnie, who do you got?
As much as the TNA Championship Committee, the TNA Board of Directors, and the TNA Authority, as much as they must have faith in Tommy to out of nowhere give him a title shot, I'm going to have to go with Moose because I think there's a better storyline to tell there with one of these returning champions being ticked off that Moose is walking around with that title. And, there's another storyline to put that to bed somehow by fighting a former champion down the line.
John Smith, I think you are aware of both these guys. I believe, obviously, you know Tommy Dreamer. I do believe I've showed you Moose at some point in time.
Yes, you have. I was always impressed with Moose. I've looked up a bunch of his clips online too. I love the way he works. But that promo by Tommy Dreamer was pretty funny. I haven't seen him cut a promo in years, so that was nice. And I think his sole purpose as a veteran, in the company is to put people over. So I see Moose winning the match.
Yeah, not to mention Moose, former Patriot. Can't really bet against that.
Oh, change my pick.
Yeah. Patriot football aside, I got Moose on this one. I think he's going to hold that exactly until somebody who they've been showcasing gets back. Particularly, I kind of see EC3 gunning for him because that is EC3's baby. So I'm going to go with Moose on that. And then we're at that point. Like I said, now it's all speculation, and now it's all rumor. We'll leave SpongeBob out of the conversation because I don't want to keep him up there for too long. But now, what once was 5 was then 3, and now it's back up to 4. As Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards, and Trey have to plan for a mystery opponent. As we're going to crown a new Impact World Champion. Since Tessa Blanchard never wanted to leave Mexico. John DeConnie.
Do I if I go with the mystery competitor, do I have to name him?
Well, here's the thing. Do you have, like I said, I have it written down. I'll let you do it because you are our senior Impact correspondent. You have the future endeavors list. I also have the list because they did a promo for the match. With Eddie Edwards, with Trey, and with Ace Austin, and they rattled off a lot of former Impact champions or TNA champions. EC3, Mike Bennett, Brian Myers, Eric Young, Bully Ray, who's now a free agent. And then you got the fun ones of Kurt Angle and Sting and James Storm and Ken Anderson, who I believe are still under NWA contracts. So they're throwing a lot out there themselves, and then you got to look at that future endeavors list. Make a stab at it. Make a stab.
Well, okay. I'm gonna go with the mystery competitor, and I'm gonna say that now that we're talking about a former champion, and they specifically said this week that former champion will not be alone, and we saw the Marvel Cinematic Universe end credit scene going back to that gentleman watching the TV with the hoodie up and pouring 3 cups of rocks glasses of whiskey, I'll presume, and at the end of the little clip, 3 hands came and took the 3 glasses away. So, based on absolutely nothing, I'm going to say Bully Ray. I'm going to say Bully Ray returns. And even though they're not former compatriots, because, well, one is, I say he brings Gallows and Anderson in tow in their Aces and Eights cuts, as we saw D'Lo reference a couple weeks ago as well, and Bully Ray takes the world title.
All right. I like how you did all that, and then your pick was based on nothing. That was perfect. Thank you. Who says you talk too much? John Smith.
I'm going to go with question mark from Parts Unknown.
Okay.
For no other reason than I've seen these other three guys and they don't impress me. And I think whoever comes in is they're doing it for a reason. I feel like they probably are hurting in the ratings and whatever numbers they need to be putting up are not being put up in any part of their business. So, somebody like a Kurt Angle, a Bully Ray will definitely, bring them some views. So I'm going with the mystery guy. Hopefully it's Kurt Angle.
Okay, so I haven't decided who this mystery opponent's going to be yet. I'm torn. With EC3, I don't have him. I have him being involved with Moose. I don't have him. I think Bully Ray might be too soon to plan for that because a lot of this stuff I guess his contract was up before. It possibly could be Bully Ray, but is he wrestling still? I don't remember. I don't know if he was wrestling in Ring of Honor.
I'm not sure what his active storylines were, but I know he specifically requested his release, and the timing just seemed like he was coming back for a reason.
I'm hoping it's either Mike Bennett or Eric Young that gets entered in this match. I would love nothing more for Mike Bennett to come out and just be Mike Bennett again, and just with Maria and just get rid of everything that WWE did with him, and get back to being the D-bag that he was when he was in Impact. I don't believe he was Impact World Champion, so I believe he is missing this title on his resume. I'm going to go with Ace Austin, though. I think I don't know how much of Madman Fulton will be involved, but I mean Ace Austin, John. I know he didn't wrestle this past show that you watched. He can go, and he's a kid, and he's gunning to be the Randy Orton of Impact. He's gunning to be the youngest Impact champion of all time. The dude's only 22. And he can go. He's already been X Division champion. He's main eventing Slammiversary, which is a huge deal in Impact. He won that tournament to earn this spot. It was supposed to be just him and Tessa in this match. He was the only one that actually belonged in this match from the get-go. So I'm gonna stick with my guns, mystery opponent and everything. I'm gonna go with Ace Austin. So real quick, Tyler did text me his picks. For those who like the Tyler Adelle taste of wrestling picks, he's gonna go with Chris Bay winning the X title, Shamrock and Callahan winning the tag titles. He's got Ty Valkyrie winning the gauntlet match, Deonna Purrazzo winning the Knockouts title, Moose defending the TNA title, and he is going with the mystery opponent, and he did not tell me who he thinks the mystery opponent is going to be. But knowing Tyler like I have the past 3 years, the only person I can think of that Tyler would think the mystery person is, it has to be CM Punk. It's really the only person that Tyler would want to see.
What about Eva Marie?
Yeah, Eva Marie, that would be... If there was a mystery woman in the gauntlet match, trust me, it would have been Eva Marie. Tyler's got CM Punk winning the Impact World title. You heard it here first, folks.
All right, I'm writing it down.
There you go. Switching gears to, gentlemen, I know the big thing is Christmas in July. Not this year. This year we're getting Halloween in July. Halloween is coming early. We have the horror show at Extreme Rules. Look at that. Dun, dun, dun. I'm scared already, boys. And you know what? With the stuff that they have kind of planned, who knows if this could be scary. I might have nightmares that night. I don't know. Guys, just to give you a refresher, I tell you, like I said before, Tyler jumped up to a huge lead. He had a great backlash. He had a great Money in the Bank. These are our records for the WWE shows, specifically Money in the Bank and Backlash. That's where we are with them. The Wyatt Swamp match, which will most likely be a cinematic match, that is not, I repeat, not for the Universal Championship. Mainly because I can't see there being a referee on this one. So, unless I could be wrong, there could be a referee there. I don't know any of the referees' names anymore. The ones I did know are now are with other companies or future endeavored. John Smith, who do you got in this one?
I just don't. I don't know what the match is. Like, it's so hard to predict what's going to happen. Is there a ref? Like, this has, them both ending up underwater, never to be seen again, written all over it. But I'm not going to go do a contest 2 weeks in a row. So I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt on this one, just because it is no non-title.
John DeConnie.
Yeah, when I read today that it was non-title, it started to push me towards Wyatt, but I'm going to stick to what I thought a couple of weeks ago when they first booked it, that Strowman would win here. Now that he's beaten happy-go-lucky Bray Wyatt from the Funhouse and old-school Bray Wyatt from the Swamp, then he'll get his SummerSlam opponent, and it'll be The Fiend, and that's where I see him perhaps losing. So I'm going to go with Strowman here.
Yeah, I got Strowman as well. Yeah, he throws. I said this when they first announced the match. I liked it, so I kind of stuck with it. That Wyatt gets thrown into the swamp and Strowman wins, walks away, and then Fiend Gloves comes out of the swamp, and that's how you end the show with the laughing track that Bray Wyatt usually does. So I'm gonna go Strowman. Tyler, we'll do the Tyler's picks as we go on. Tyler's going with Bray Wyatt as well. Like I said, he's the WWE leader right now, so Tyler's the kind of the picks that you want to go with. Here's a match I'm more interested in than I probably should be because of this imposter United States Championship that I'm still claiming to be an imposter that MVP is walking around with. MVP is challenging Apollo Crews for the United States Championship. John DeConnie as the belt guy. You have to take the belts into consideration in this match.
Well, like we hinted at, someone mentioned last week, I see this along the lines of WrestleMania 10, with the two Intercontinental titles.
Yeah.
I think Crews retains, and at the end, they have no choice but to hand him the new title. He holds up both for the time being. And by the time we see him on television again the next week, he's got his fancy new side plates on that new belt, and we say bye-bye to the old one.
John Smith?
I got MVP via Bobby Lashley. I don't see why they would have MVP introduce the title if he's not going to be the one that wins it.
Yep.
But I think also the next night, some sort of finger poke of doom happens and Bobby Lashley gets the belt from MVP.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's the winner of the match is going to determine that belt. Who has? Because I don't think John. I'm going to pick Apollo, but I think he's just going to throw that new title right into the trash. Like it's not his. That's not the belt that he won. That's the belt that a guy introduced that he hates. He hates MVP right now, so he's not going to. Oh, this title, I like his title better than mine, and then just keep his. I just don't see that. So the winner of this match is going to determine which physical. I wish it was that one.
Oh, God,
version of the United States Championship goes forward, and that's why MVP has a better chance than I would normally give him. So I'm not going to be shocked at all if MVP wins this match. But yeah, and Lashley has to interfere for it to happen, because if it's a straight up wrestling match, Apollo Crews has this. No problem. I mean, this is a rematch. I believe they had a Money in the Bank qualifier on Raw one Monday when Apollo Crews was first traded over, and it was a really great match. I think this match is going to be better than people expect. MVP can still go to a point. He's not, old and run down. So I'm going to go with Apollo Crews. Ty's going with Apollo Crews. And now we're going to go to the women's side of things, and a very great weekend, or I guess the sandwich part of the weekend, Friday and Monday, for the women's tag team champions. They got the win. They got the wins in both matches. They got the win in the non-title match on SmackDown when Bayley pinned Nikki Cross with a roll-up, and then they defended their titles against the Kabuki Warriors when Sasha Banks made Kairi Sane tap out to the bank statement. We'll go with the Raw Women's Tag title. The Raw Women's Tag title. Listen to me. the Raw Women's Championship first as Sasha Banks. I guess she's going for her 5th Raw Women's Championship. She's challenging Asuka. John Smith, as an Asuka fan, I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, this is definitely an Asuka victory. Like I had said last week or 2 weeks ago, it's going to be the ammunition for Bayley, I think, to start rubbing it in Sasha's face that she's got a singles title and Sasha doesn't.
John DeConnie. Tyler is picking both Sasha Banks, and I'll spoil the next match. He's pitching both Sasha Banks and Bayley. He's calling the 2-woman power trip here. What do you think?
I think the only way that scenario makes sense is if they immediately announce a women's mid-card title, they bring a new belt in, and then say that the women are going to have to face each other and unify the Raw and SmackDown titles, and then the women can travel, as they're doing now, wherever the hell they want and fight any night, but we only need one big-time champion. Since I don't see that happening, I'm going to stick with Asuka.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I was picking Asuka anyway, but I kind of talked myself into wanting Asuka and Shayna Baszler earlier on the show. I didn't think about it, and then I said it. I'm like, yes, I really want to see that. And my other idea before we get into it, we'll go into the next match here. Just the other part of this situation, the other part of this equation. Bayley is defending her SmackDown championship against Nikki Cross. I almost did it again. Against Nikki Cross. John Smith, who do you got?
Bayley, definitely. I think they're going to finally give Nikki Cross the singles match she's been trying to get for all these years on the main roster, because she definitely showed us on NXT that she belongs in that title picture. So
yeah.
You know, I'm really pulling for her to not screw anything up. Let's keep the botches to a minimum, ladies, and you know, let's split up Nikki and Alexa, because I want to see a feud between those two.
I'm not worried about any botches with these 4 women, to tell you the truth. But I get what you're saying. I know what happens every once in a while. John,
I'm talking about nerves, not the people involved. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm actually shocked WWE is going forward with a pay-per-view without Charlotte Flair, John DeConnie.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, I'm going to pull an Al Karl here. I'm going to go with my heart, not my head, because I don't. If Nikki Cross gets that 1, 2, 3, and I don't have her picked,
exactly,
it'll break my heart.
Yep, you never want to bet against it. I'm going to go with Nikki Cross as well. I said it when I said to my wife when we were watching when she won the #1 contenders match. I'm like, how do you have a horror show without Nikki Cross? So I think that was an easy. But now I'm thinking, like, how do you not have her win? Like, this is the event that she's supposed to win at. You know, like, she's nuts, lunatic. Not saying she's horror, but like, I want to see her win the belt. You know, it's time for a change on SmackDown. Bayley's had it for over a year now. Right? I think both titles combined, because she did drop it for a hot second to Charlotte, I believe, before she had the gimmick change and then won it back. But something that's kind of stuck out to me, and again, I caught it, and it reminded me last night on Raw when Bayley and Sasha threw up the video that they made, their celebration video. They kind of, SummerSlam's coming up, and it's a big event. They kind of called out Trish Stratus and Lita in that video. So I'm kind of thinking maybe going into SummerSlam, maybe they did that intentionally to kind of just put that out there to start a feud, and then have Asuka with Shayna at the Raw match, and then have Nikki versus whoever for the SmackDown title, and then you got Sasha and Bayley, who still can appear on both shows because they're the tag champs. They can still try to get them back, but you could have a tag title defense against Trish and Lita, which would be very, very SummerSlam worthy. So I'm going to go with Nikki Cross with the upset here, and I think with Sasha not maybe not going to be at ringside because either she just got choked out or she's going to be prepping for her title match. I don't think either of them are going to have each other in each other's corners like they usually are. So I'm going to go with Nikki Cross with the championship win.
That was a long walk for a short drink of water, huh?
It was, but you got to throw Trish and Lita. That's it. There's a game plan. There's in my head. That's where. I don't know. Unless John Cena's going to challenge him for the tag team titles. I don't know. Okay, so Tom Phillips said a couple times last night that the way that you win this match, I believe the word was extract. You have to extract an eye from your opponent's body. Now, I was thinking maybe like they had to lose an eye, and we just call, we just change Ray's last name to Mysterio, and the match would be over. Rollins, you really can't do that with, but Mysterio, we can make that work. John Smith. Bleep show. What the bleep? A lot of bleeping. What are we doing here?
I'm so not looking forward to this because I have to watch it because I don't know what the heck's going to happen. But this is something that I would be totally fine with skipping because I don't know what the heck they're thinking by making us think that somebody's going to rip somebody's eyeball out. Like, it's got to be a play on words. There's got to be something we've missed.
Well, that's right. So with the
tattoos where they could slice it off of them or something.
I don't know. Do you have a winner?
Do I have a winner? God, I gotta go with Rollins, I guess, because at least you can fake that Mysterio lost an eye with the mask.
Yeah, John the Connie. Any thoughts on how this happens, or before your pick? I have no idea.
I last night as they were talking about that, I just kept yelling at the television screen. No, you're not going to do that. You're not. What are you bringing in a Hollywood gore expert, and someone's actually going to produce an eyeball hanging from an optic nerve and hold it up in the middle of the ring? Are you kidding me?
I don't.
I mean, this spot is meant for Ray to get his revenge against the despicable things that Rollins has done. But how do I pick anyone but Rollins when Ray, with the one eye blacked out in his mask, is the easiest way to fake someone losing their eye? But are they really doing that? I'm legitimately angry over just the thought of this ridiculous match.
Yeah, I want to say this is going to start to insult our intelligence. The last time they tried to do something, I wouldn't say like this, but let's say they insulted our intelligence was with Eric Rowan's pet spider. I think we wouldn't know. Yeah, this is, John the. They did used to have a gore expert. He's an Impact now on Raw. Hopefully he'll get his friend back on Saturday. I'm gonna go with Rollins. Rollins got beat up pretty bad on Monday. When you saw he was practicing, he was gouging at Kevin Owens' eye before he got stunned and then jumped. He was. I don't know. Like I said, this was sent up for Ray to win, and I agree with you. I don't know how Rollins. I don't know. And Kevin Owens already ruined the pirate patch. He said Jean-Pierre Lafitte. Kevin Owens already ruined the eye patch. So even if Ray wins, where do you? I don't know. And Becky's not due, so it's not like you do this to Rollins so he has a paternity leave. Becky's not due till December or whatever it was, if my math was right. I don't know. Ty's going with Rey Mysterio. Don't know the thought process on that, but we are running out of time. Going a little bit long today, which is fine. We got 2 pay-per-views to go through. It's not Double Play Tuesday, so we're good. The WWE Championship will be on the line. Dolph Ziggler gets to pick the stipulation for the match. He has not yet announced what that stipulation was, so that's a little bit of gamesmanship on Dolph Ziggler's part. You giving him a shot, John Smith?
No shot. I'm just more curious about what the heck he's going to pick. I could see it be like a one arm tied behind your back kind of match.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah. Other than that, I can't think of what the heck it's going to be. But either way, Drew comes out with the victory and the title.
Yeah, John the Connie.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. So it's goofy that they haven't named the stipulation yet. Does it turn out to be a handicap match and we finally get to see Bobby Roode again? I don't know, but I still think McIntyre walks away retaining.
Yeah, I've bet against Drew McIntyre twice already. I think I've learned my lesson for the time being. I can't think of any situation where I could picture Dolph Ziggler as WWE champion, although I would love to see it. I'm a big Ziggler fan. I just can't be losing 5 points, and I can't be losing points. Like I throwing away 10 points betting on Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley to beat Drew McIntyre. If Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley can't beat Drew McIntyre, I don't care what the stipulation is. I don't see Dolph Ziggler doing it. So those are the matches coming up for this weekend. Please go to ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against us. If not, play against your friends. Create a pool. Have some fun with it. Prove you're the best. So pay some bills real quick. You have one quick announcement, and that is the – I'm in the wrong section. That's the Prime Time Rundown. Last week made its triumphant return. This week they're back on Friday nights at 6 o'clock. I do believe, if I was told correctly, they're getting ready for baseball season with this episode. Major League Baseball opens up, I believe. The Yankees and the Nationals are on July 24th. For those who are going to skip that and just wait for the 25th to watch the New York Mets, I believe that would be 4 o'clock on the 25th. But Primetime Rundown this Friday at 6 p.m. with Joey Jarzenka, Nick Partain, and Tyler Adelle. Tyler does double duty. I believe with his new responsibilities at his job, he will be able to do Friday nights. But we are going to hold the Fourth Down Forum for the time being on Tuesdays on the Essential Wrestling Podcast. Anything that you guys want to throw out there before we sign off? John Smith.
No, not today. No, there's no nothing I didn't cover today that I want to get off my chest. So I'll just bid you all adieu. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, not a problem, pal. We'll see you next week, John DeConti. Actually, John Smith, I'll probably see you this weekend, right? We're watching the shows.
Yeah, I'll come over definitely on Saturday, possibly.
Yeah, we're watching Impact. We're gonna watch Slammiversary.
Yeah.
John DeConti.
Other than my total disdain for this ojo por ojo match, I got nothing new.
Yes, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the Essential Wrestling Podcast. For John Smith, for John DeConti, my name is Karl. I just got married. I'm on my honeymoon. I got to get back. Woo! Space Mountain time, baby. I got a little bit of the bubbly for the celebration. And after that's all said and done, I'm going to join Alf and Ted over there for some s'mores. It's going to be a great night here on my honeymoon. Thank you so much, very much. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We truly appreciate. Make sure you give us a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please recommend us to your friends. There you are. Alexa Bliss, we love you. We will always love you. Don't ever forget that. John DeConti.
Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
Bye, Tyler.